Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you.
Hello everyone and welcome to RamTV6. I'm your host, Felicia Villarreal, and that was a cover of Hallelujah by indie folk music artist Nick Mery, aka the Merykid. He is an independent music artist with 7 albums, awarded Most Overrated Musician in San Antonio, Texas, and was charted in the top 25 acoustic artists on GarageBand.com. Please join us and welcome the Merykid. Hey Nick, how are you doing today?
So excited to be broadcasting not live in San Angelo, Texas.
So that way you can have as many mistakes as you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us via Skype. I'm so sorry you couldn't make it on set today.
It's okay. I've been to San Angelo once. I think I got everything.
Just once? Do you have family here, or?
Yeah, my cousin was actually the kicker for San Angelo University about 10 years ago. So we used to road trip down and watch y'all play. I'm assuming y'all are the Rams, right? According to your television network.
Duh, the Ram TV.
So I've been a long time Ram supporter.
Aww.
And so it feels good. Feels good to be home.
Aw, there you go. Can you do the Ram sign real quick for us, just to start off everything good?
I don't know if I'm really bad with that kind of stuff. Is it kind of like one of these things, or like it's like the ram?
That's an alligator. I think that's an alligator.
That's not the ram eating the competition.
Yeah. And your thumb is his horn, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and start things off. Why don't you go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about yourself, how old you are, and when did you start picking up music?
I'm 27, which sounds so incredibly old when I say it out loud. So maybe if you could edit that to where I say, like, maybe you can have the word 19.
Or maybe we can just bleep out 7 and you'll just hear 20.
Yeah. Do a remix. I'm 7 years old, and I've been a musician for about 10 years. I've been all over this great country playing music, and which obviously means I'm broke. So
my God.
I'm located in San Antonio, just getting ready to put out another album and plugging away. And
you have 7 albums, correct?
I do have 7 albums, yes.
You have 2 on iTunes and the rest are free downloads?
The first album was the second release of Merykid. It's called The Boy and the Bird, and it's just this little EP that I put out that I loved so much. And the next one was my first album, which came out in 2010, was called The Raccoon. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. The Boy and the Bird was kind of a normal album, just like a 6-song EP, and then The Raccoon was more of like a concept of like this kid who goes into space and stuff like that.
What inspires you to write music?
Honestly, I really like books a lot, and I really want to be a writer one day. I was definitely the kid growing up who just read books all the time, and I never really went outside and played in the sun. As you can see by my complexion, I'm not one for the sun too much, but it's just a way of sharing stories, I guess, and metaphors, and just certain facets of literature that come out when you're writing songs. Like, you can write a story and say it over music, and you get to write the music too, so it's kind of like an extension of liking the writing process, I guess.
You also had 6 songs that were released to CBS, or they were actually licensed to CBS.
Yeah, that happened. That was the entire Boy and the Bird EP, all 6 songs. Just CBS bought the whole thing. There's like a room with just boxes probably of CDs that they own the rights to the music, and one of my CDs is in there.
Oh, that is so cool.
If aliens ever take over the world and land at the CBS offices, and whatever is inside is what they assume is the best music in the world, then I'm going to be in there too, and that's cool.
There you go. That is awesome. So now you're reaching out to the whole universe, not just the world.
Yeah, for sure. I do that often. I just sort of point my radio up at the sky at night. And
do you wear foil on your head?
I sit there, alone, and just single tears stream down my face as I point songs up to the sky. I don't know where I'm with this.
Next to Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I killed it. All right, and moving on. You were nominated twice for Best Original Song in the Feel Good Film Festival.
Yes, that was also a lot of fun. That happened back in 2009.
Who have you worked with, music artist-wise?
I played with this band called Moto Pony, and they were really awesome because we played at this house show, and South by Southwest had just named them like the top band to watch at South by Southwest. Yeah, something like that. Like Rolling Stone was like, Moto Pony's the band to watch at South by Southwest, and then like the next day they played a house party in San Antonio with like 15 people there, and like I was the one that opened for them. I don't even know how that happened. It was really incredible to be a part of that, and I would say the worst band that I ever opened for was Blue October.
Oh,
just
really?
more for the events of what, like the singer of Blue October actually ended up being really nice, but the events of that day were just terrible. It was like my birthday in 2007, so many years ago. I just 22, and it was just like the universe had just decided that was going to be the worst day ever.
You actually perform at local areas in Austin, local bars and restaurants and stuff. Is that true?
Yeah, I've had my foray with Austin, Texas. It's kind of hard. You have to understand that, like, to be in San Antonio, which is so close to Austin, is like this really weird love-hate relationship between the two cities, because San Antonio is a bigger city. We have more resources, but Austin is just, like, infinitely cooler without really having to try hard. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have this, like, almost like brother dynamic where, like, the Austin's like the big brother that, like, has the shadow that is cast over San Antonio, and San Antonio has to, like, twist in all these really weird ways to get attention and try, like, 5 times harder than Austin. It's inevitable to recognize that Austin is so important to, like, music in general, but right. I have so much pride being from San Antonio that I don't want to, like, give them any more credit than they already have. In fact, I want to, like, bring some of that to San Antonio.
Right.
But to answer your question, yes, I played there.
Are there any upcoming performances that you are having that you can tell our audience?
I honestly am just in the studio right now recording. Like, I played a lot this year. Like, the first half of this year was very busy. Mm-hmm. And even so, like, the last couple years have been really, really busy musically. And like, I'm just enjoying myself. Like, I finally gave myself a vacation from being like a touring musician and playing a lot of shows, and I'm recording music with some friends, and I'm getting ready to release my next album early next year.
So besides music, are you doing any film work?
And interestingly enough, I met this guy. He was at one of my shows. I was playing this festival in San Antonio, and he was just kind of filming. He ended up becoming like one of the biggest well-known camera operator in San Antonio, like within that year. It was just one of those things where, like, he started hustling really hard, and him and I had this friendship that sparked from one of his first, encounters with the San Antonio music scene. Mm-hmm. And so earlier this year, we started planning this show called Miranda TV, where we just sort of go, we focus mostly on San Antonio right now because that's where we're located, but it's a show that's just based around the culture of different cities, and we go around and interviewing specific people and shops and things like that, and it's a lot like something you would see on the Travel Channel. Okay. And so I'm the host of that, and then through that, one of the other guys that works with that show puts out a lot of films in town, and through talking to him on the set, he had asked me if I ever wanted to write anything for one of his films, and I did. I did one just as an experiment, and it ended up winning some contest here in town, like some film festival. And that just happened recently. So, yeah. Strangely enough, yes, coincidentally, I kind of have some, like, I'm dipping my toes in the film pool through music.
And that's what a lot of, music artists tend to do. Like, they'll go into music, and then they'll go into film, and then vice versa with, actors, they'll go into music.
Everybody wants to be somebody else.
Right. They just want to dip their toes in every puddle.
Yep.
But that's good exposure for you that you're hosting that Miranda TV. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm just trying to be the Ram TV of San Antonio.
Right? You want to take my job?
Felicia, Villarreal of San Antonio's culture. I don't know.
So not only do you devote some of your time to music, you're also reaching out to the community. Is that correct?
Well, Miranda TV became what I was doing. I started out on radio about 2 years ago. I created the first ever radio show to play only local music because I was so obsessed with the local music scene. I thought that I could like present it in a way that it deserved to be presented. Mm-hmm. And from there, that was on a local radio station, and from there, the city itself kind of like created this new project where we were going to have our own HD radio station, and they approached me as the only person who was playing local music at the time and said that they wanted to take that idea and put it on their new station. So I stopped working with the radio station, the FM station, to move over to the HD signal, and that show was called Good Job Texas, and that still to this day is going on, although like I have not been able to put my talents to that as much anymore. Like I just don't have time for it, but it's still going really strong, and I'm still really involved with just like the every now and then, like I get to pop in and see everybody that's still working there, and I still talk to everybody and I get to know what's happening. But yeah, so it started with radio, and it just kind of went to Miranda TV after that with more of like a screen presence and getting to do video along with it. It's all fun, you know?
Yeah.
Fun to talk to people and give them the opportunity to tell their story. I think that everybody has a good story to tell.
Right. Very nice. Now, going back to Good Job Texas, it was the first HD radio show to ever play unsigned Texas music artists?
It's true. A lot of like hip-hop stuff. There was this producer named Beautiful Lou who just got named by the Fader as the most important producer in hip-hop. So we've had him on the show, and I think we had this group named Sorn, who is from Austin, and they had just gotten off tour with TV on the radio, and gosh, there were a few others. Like there were some really cool artists who just hadn't had the same exposure just because they really don't have the same resources that music labels do.
Right.
You know, still have a way to get audiences, and they have to get more creative with it, and you got to commend that. Like it's a lot of work when you're doing it by yourself.
Exactly. What advice can you give to aspiring young music artists?
You just cannot expect to make a lot of money in music. Like if you think that you're going to be that 1% that eventually gets there, then like that's what you got to work for. But the other 99% of your time is going to be without financial compensation. And so it's like at the very end of the day, if you're not even enjoying yourself, if you're not even writing things that inspire you as an artist, then there's really no point. So I push away the notion of needing the money for it, and I kind of do whatever makes me happy. And it would only work out the right way if doing what made me happy made me successful.
Right. Very nice. Very nicely said. Also, I can relate to that because a lot of people say, you know, same thing for the film industry. Music and film can both relate to that.
Are they telling you to sell out, Felicia? They want you to be Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah, dude, pressure's on. Pressure is on. Well, thank you so much, Nick, for joining us here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you all for interviewing me. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, great. And do you have a Twitter account, Facebook page that people can follow you at?
Always Merykid, Merykid. You can just Google that, and like you're gonna get a lot of, probably like a couple pages worth of my stuff. So
there you
decide
go.
for yourself if you like it or not.
There you go, and I don't see why they wouldn't. You can also visit his website at www.mightymerykid.com.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nick, for joining us. And thank you all at home for tuning in to RAM TV6. I've been your host, Felicia Villarreal. We'll see you next time.